What's up, guys? Poli Popo here, and it's good to be on the channel today. I want to show you guys a few things, but first, I want to go ahead and kind of explain why it's important to be able to take your one loop that you have, because the MPC is a loop making machine, but you want to take that loop and expand it into a song. And I really think that a lot of producers out there, they listen to that, they got like an 8-bar loop going back, and a lot of the time, and I'm one to blame, I do the same thing. I'll be like, cool, that's cool, I like it like that, and then I'll save it, and I'll never go back to finishing it. And the more and more loops that you make, it's like you're not wanting to make loops, you want to make songs. So the best thing to do is to go ahead and just stretch it out, and I want to go ahead and show you how to do that. Whether it's if you want to take out specific drums, specific synth parts, or anything like that. When you got your whole group of instruments going together, that's the hype. That loop is the hype of the whole song. I mean, that's the top of it. That's where everything goes off, and that's where it's at. And that's what the song is. Some are better than others, so you need to break down that song. And a lot of times, I find myself rushing through the workflow, and I just need to slow it down. So I really want to get in on this. I want to make a fresh 8-bar loop, and then instead of just saving it, I want to go ahead and break it out into a whole song, okay? And it's been a minute, and I do appreciate you guys for watching and subscribing to the channel. I also go over different gear. I'm going to go over some serious modular gear, not quite like having a bass player and a synth and they're all playing together, but actually having them affect each other. You know what I'm saying? It's just really weird. But let's jump back into this. I'm gonna make an 8-bar loop, and let's get right into it, guys. Check it. Alright, guys, so this is the most important part of the whole setup here, is getting all your instruments together, all your drums and everything that you want. So the first thing that you do, like when you turn on your MPC and it's brand new, the first button that the first button you want to hit is browse. It's this button right here. We're not going to focus on anything that's over here. You don't need to worry about it. But this button right here, browse. And then you go to content. Not expansions. We're going to go over how to do all that and look and find your internal or whatnot. We're going to go content, and then we're going to go to these groups up here. We got instruments, drums, so select whatever you want. I already selected an acoustic kit and about 5 instruments. I'd recommend at least 10 because you don't know what you're going to want. So scroll through your sounds, find out which ones you want, and as soon as you do that, you're ready to roll. Set it for 120. Okay, so now you got your sounds and everything loaded up, and you go to the one that looks like a little keyboard on your screen, and go ahead and hit the one that you got. One that looks like a box, a plug, and then the keyboard. The keyboard's the one that's going to have all your little sounds, and these will change your octaves, the A, B, C, and D. I'm going to use an external keyboard so it doesn't matter. But check this out. As far as the tempo goes, whenever you go down into your studio and you're like, okay, what are you feeling? Are you feeling? I go 120 BPM because that's just my creative workflow. I go in 120. I can slow it up, speed it down, or whatever. I can divide it into threes. It's really easy for me to work with 120, and that's what I'm going to record in right now. But if you have a different bounce to your song, you want to hit that tap tempo to that bounce. You know what I'm saying? So that's a good tip there too if you want to check that out. But I'm going to leave it at 120 and make sure this isn't too loud here. Alright, I'm just going to lay down a quick loop. I'm going to zoom it back in over here, and I'm just going to do it all in one sequence. Just wake you out. I always start with my melody first because my drums are going to be, you can switch them up however you want them, you know what I mean? So, let's go. That's our first track, right? We're gonna go to track 2. I leave this overdub. When I want to experiment, I'll turn the overdub off and it'll keep playing, right? Let's go to second sound. Just record something. Just getting an idea down right now. It won't take long here. Gonna go track 4. Add a little bass. Track 5. It's very ambitious for any YouTuber out there to try to make a song on the spot. So my hats off to you when you, and if you do try. Alright, so check this out. We got our loop going, right? And we're like, cool, yeah, we got the loop going, we can hear the loop, and it's like, post it, post it. Get on Facebook with the phone bobbing, for like 10, 20 seconds, and you get your likes up. But if you want to actually stretch it out into a song and make it, to be able to find the hidden message inside of your work, man, I would definitely do this next step. Check this out. All we're gonna do is on this first sequence here, you're gonna hit the pencil. You can't see, listen, alright? I'll change the view and just leave me a suggestion, but hit the pencil on your sequence. Copy your sequence 5 times. Copy to 2, do it. Copy to 3, do it. Copy to 4, do it. Let's just leave it at 4, okay? So now we got, 4 sequences? and they're all the same. This is what we need to do to change this up, okay? This is pretty important. So what you want to do is hit this track mute right there. It is underneath C, and it says track mute. It says sequence 4 because you copied it 4 times. And we're going to leave the drums riding the whole time, okay? We didn't explode the drums or anything. This is just to make your loop, whether it has drums or not. I'm going to mute out these different parts. And I'll go over on my next video on how to actually sequence out your audio tracks, because it's a slightly different workflow. You have to actually delete the, I'm not sure, because I believe in the, I don't want to get sidetracked, but if you're along this far and you understand, in the preferences, under menu, under preferences, there is an Insta track mute, and I haven't really messed with it. Insta track mute, that's for your clips. It doesn't really work with audio tracks, so you have to delete your audio tracks when you're sequencing them. But right now we have 4 different sequences, so I'm going to go and arrange my sequences this way I don't have to select them manually. So I hold down the shift button, and right next to the track mute under D there's a song, but you have to hold shift and hit song and insert 4 sequences. And work with me, guys. I'm just trying to do this here. I will do an overhead camera view on this if the video gets a lot of likes or whatever, and it seems to add value to the channel. I'll keep doing it. But repetition is the key. So now we got 4 sequences. I did have to change from sequence 1 to 2 to 3 to 4. Alright, so now we got 4 different sequences. I'm going to convert 4 to 5, okay? Trust me on this, alright? Go back to sequence 1, and now you have 32 bars. And it's going to show you the whole loop that you played. But now it's actually broken down into a whole song, so longer video on top of being able to hear more than just a loop. Because the hype is the hype, but when you hear the whole song, check it out. Thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully some drums come in. On accident, you know. You can actually go through and listen to those instead of just muting out random tracks. Take your time and go through there and be like, do I want this drum to come in? Do I want that hit to go there? You know what I'm saying? You can take your time instead of just randomly muting out tracks. Go in there and do this. Go back to that track mute. And listen. Do you want this? Say this was the intro. Like, yeah, I want that to be my intro. And so on and so on. And then you go to your next sequence and build it up or break it down however you want. But that whole loop, that 8-bar loop that you made, turns into some really nice stuff. Just gotta sit back, listen, take your time, and this really makes music fun. But it's so fast that you can overlook some of the simple things. So I also want to encourage you guys to try to make your own channels too, man. support each other. And let's get this going. Hopefully you guys learned something. Like I say, if you want to see another video on this with a different angle, if you have any questions, feel free to hit me up. All right. Talk to you later.